This is a recap on what we learned today with adding mixed numbers with unlike denominators. I want you to understand that it follows the same concepts that we learned when we adding fractions with unlike denominators. The only difference here is that we have whole numbers to add with it. So an example of this would be 3 1/4 plus 3 5/8. So when a problem is presented like this, when we're adding or subtracting mixed numbers, we want to set them up in a top to bottom as if we would when we're doing proper addition and subtraction. So we're going to do 3 1/4 plus 3 5/8. This allows me to see that I have whole numbers to add and fractions to add. Now I know that when I add fractions, I have to have like denominators. So I'm going to take my two fractions here, and I'm going to have 1/4 plus 5/8. And again, I'll follow the same pattern. I know that I'm adding a fraction, so I have to have like denominators. 4 and 8 are not the same numbers, so I have to ask myself, can the little make the big? So can 4 make 8? And the answer is yes. So we're going to do an equivalent fraction. So 4 to 8 means I have to multiply this one by 2, and whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So this becomes 2/8 plus 5/8. And I can go across and add that, and that makes 7/8. So the answer to my fraction addition here will be 7/8, and then I add my two wholes. 3 plus 3 makes 6. So the answer to this problem would be 6 7/8. Now to practice another one with not equivalent as well, but where we are going to have to bow tie to find a common denominator. I also want you to understand, I know that some of us are used to doing greatest common factor and least common multiple, so you can have two numbers and find what number can they make together to make a common denominator. That is doable, but for the concept of time, we are just working to understand how to create it. And then that process is a higher order thinking skill that will be mastered in later on in the year, but then definitely into middle school. It's something we're going to touch base on, but not until the skill of adding fractions is mastered. So I'll try another one, which will be 3 5/11 plus 7 2/3. Now again, I want to set it up as a top to bottom. Make sure I just kind of divide that. So I'm going to write 3 5/11 plus 7 2/3. Again, this helps me visualize. I have whole numbers to add and I have a fraction to add. So I'm going to take my two fractions here. 5/11 plus 2/3. When I am adding fractions, I have to have a like denominator. 3 and 11 are not the same number. So I ask myself, can the little make the big? And 3 cannot make 11. So I'm going to write no. And then we are going to bow tie, which means we are going to follow our process, doing the right thing first. 3 times 5 is 15. Make it fair. Plus 11 times 2 is 22. And then we are going to tie it together. 11 times 3 is 33. So this becomes 15 plus 22 over 33, which will equal 37/33. Leave it improper. We don't want to worry about making it a mixed number yet. Leave it improper. So my fraction answer is going to be 37/33. And my whole numbers are 3 plus 7, which makes 10. This is an appropriate answer. This is acceptable. If your child is confident with taking an improper fraction to a mixed number, we can do that. We know that 37/33, 33 can go into 37 one whole time with 4 left over, and my denominator never changes. So I'm going to take this new fraction and I'm going to add it back to my whole number here. So it becomes 10 plus 1 4/33. And our answer is going to be 11 4/33. So you can work with your child at home in creating all kinds of fractions that you'd like and see if they can show you how to properly add a mixed number with unlike denominators. And tomorrow I will show you how we are going to learn how to subtract mixed numbers with unlike denominators. It's a little bit more complicated, but we got this. Let me know if you have any questions.